Devastating landslides in Wayanad have killed around 400 persons and left countless others homeless. Now, this disaster has once again brought climate change to the forefront. What is the current situation on ground zero, and what can one learn about disaster mitigation and management? Now, earlier in the day, I spoke to my colleague Mohammed Wajihullah, who is in Wayanad covering this tragedy. Waji, welcome to the News9 Plus show. We've all been following what's been happening there. So, what are the next big challenges in Wayanad in the days ahead?
Well, Wayanad was yet to recover from the Puttumala landslide that happened in 2019, and now this Wayanad landslide this year has been more disastrous than what it witnessed in 2019. We've seen close to 360 people who have lost their life in this landslide and close to 2,000 people who have been misplaced. So the challenges for Wayanad is going to be mounting in the coming days. From what we know, the first big challenge will be the humanitarian challenges to rehabilitate close to 2,500 people who have been misplaced in in this entire landslide. From what we know is the next plan of action for the government will be to make sure that these people are given a house, a job, so that they can go back and restart their life from scratch, because most of them have lost their houses, have lost their properties, have lost everything that they used to do. Most of them have lost family members. So the mental trauma also is something that has to be taken care of. So that is one big challenge that the state government has with regards to the people of Wayanad. But what is the other big challenge is the ecological challenge that they will have to face. They will have to do an entire mapping of the hills in this entire region, make sure that wherever afforestation has happened, they'll have to go check the soil of that particular region, because one of the biggest reasons for this landslide was afforestation and the quarries that were open up in these hills. Close to 1,400 quarries are there in the western Ghats of Kerala, is what we've been told, and these are in the landslide prone areas. So that has to be checked all over again. They'll have to make sure that the rampant construction for tourism that is happening has to be checked and regulated, because these are the two most important things, the ecological factor and the human factor, that has to be checked, so that things like this do not occur again. And there is a possibility of them occurring again, because we continue to see afforestation happening, and the places where we went to yesterday also and day before yesterday, or there in the last few days, have all been areas where you can see afforestation happening rampantly. You can see forest on the upper hills of upper part of the hill, but on the lower part of the hill you can see that there is no bordering between the forest and the plantations that are there, and that you can see rampantly in the city, in the entire hilly regions of Wayanad. So these two, ecological and the human challenges, are the biggest challenges that the state government is going to face in the coming days.
How many persons are displaced, and how will the survivors, the hundreds of people, the villagers, how will they be resettled?
This is going to be one of the biggest challenges too, because 2,500 people are right now present in the 16 camps that have been set up by the state government. Now these 2,500 people have to be rehabilitated. They'll have to be given a new house, given a new place, a new job. They are going through a lot of trauma also as of now. So their mental health also has to be checked. So all these things are very important as of now for the government. And so far 360 people have also lost their life. Yesterday the government was able to find a plot of land in Puttumala where they could bury close to 40 people. Like that they'll have to still find out places for burial for the people who've lost their life. And they now have to do a mapping of they'll have to do an entire recheck of the people who live in these hilly regions, because in this particular tragedy, the things that the government failed or they did not have an idea about was the laborers and the workers that were working in these plantations. We still do not have a concrete idea of the number of people that worked in these plantations, and that is very important to get to know the loss of lives that have happened in this Wayanad landslide. So these are one of the biggest challenges. Close to 2,500 people that have to be rehabilitated, given new places. There are so many people who still don't want to go back to Churumalla because they fear that what happened in Puttumala and Churumalla will happen again in the coming days. So all these things have to be checked, and these people who've lost their families, who've lost their life, they'll have to be rehabilitated in the coming days.
And finally, what are the lessons from Wayanad for other landslide-prone areas of India?
There are a lot of lessons that we need to learn from this Wayanad tragedy, but the sad part is we just don't learn. We only react and not act beforehand itself. So one of the few things that is important for the government to now look into is that according to a report by ISRO itself, it clearly states that in the 17 states that have hilly regions, out of that 147 districts are land-prone zones, and they are going to be affected very badly in the coming days. Even a small state like Mizoram has close to 12,000 landslides a day. Kerala, on the other hand, has 14 districts which are vulnerable for landslides, and 13 of them are in the top 50, in the list of top 50 districts. So you can clearly get an idea about the vulnerability of landslides in these particular areas. Also, the economical challenges that we have spent close to 470 crores in the rehabilitation process in the entire landslides that have hit India across this year. So this is one of the things that the government has to learn. They'll have to map the entire hilly regions of the country all over again. All the places where afforestation is happening, where huge hydro power projects are being built, has to be assessed all over again. They'll have to make sure that the damages, these quarries and the construction, rampant construction that is taking place in the hilly regions have to be checked all over again. They'll have to do a mapping of the tourist area also, because most of the tourist area is where we are seeing landslide, be it the Uttarakhand landslide or the Wayanad. So Wayanad itself is a tourist destination, and the landslide over here will also impact tourists. But in the name of tourism, there's a lot of rampant construction that we see in this area, unchecked. So all that now has to be done and regulated by the government. If that is not done, then we will again be reacting to landslides, we'll again be reacting to floods, we'll be reacting to calamities and not be acting. So it's first thing first is for the government to start acting now than reacting.
Prime Minister Modi and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi are set to face off in 4 assembly elections over the next 6 months. We look at these 4 elections, beginning with New Delhi, where the Congress and the BJP are in a triangular contest with the Aam Aadmi Party. Watch the battle for the capital. Will Delhi bail out Kejriwal? Only on the News9 Plus app. Download and watch. And thank you for watching the News9 Plus show.
28 पार्टियों ने मिलकर गठबंधन बनाया, उसका नाम रखा इंडिया। 140 करोड़ लोगों का इंडिया है। इंडिया हमारे दिल में बसता है, भारत हमारे दिल में बसता है, हिंदुस्तान हमारे दिल में बसता है। अरे किस किस के दिल से निकालोगे तुम इंडिया?
भारत माता की, भारत माता की।
BJP fell short of a majority in 2024 and Prime Minister Modi now leads a coalition government. The opposition has a new energy, the Congress is resurgent. That is why the 4 assembly elections in Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Haryana and Delhi become crucial. The results will decide how the BJP-led NDA rules for the next 4 years. As a combative Rahul takes on the BJP, we look at who will win the next 4 electoral battle.
You have a state where a sitting chief minister who is not resigned from his post and cannot be forced by the courts to resign, he is sitting inside the jail.
तो जो पार्टी जेल बेल और कोर्ट के चक्कर में घूम रही है, मुझे नहीं लगता कि दिल्ली की जनता उसे स्वीकार करेगी।
Most of them have gone to jail on the charges of corruption. Led us to that decision of not going along with them in the Vidhan Sabha elections.
My own sense is that in assembly election, Aam Aadmi Party is still the front runner.